You've conducted legal, competency-based interviews, effectively documented each one, conducted relevant tests, and run comprehensive reference and background checks on your finalists. You've also considered your company's affirmative action goals and assessed its organization-wide and department diversity levels. Hopefully, the hiring manager and the HR interviewer agree on whom to hire. If they don't, the manager will probably make the final decision, with the HR representative documenting his reasons for disagreeing. At last, it's time to extend an offer of employment to one applicant who stands out among the rest. So now let's talk about communicating job offers. Make sure you ask the recipient to either accept or decline an offer through an email or a job offer letter. Assuming the answer is yes, set up a time to discuss the particulars of the offer. Unless logistics are prohibitive, this conversation should take place face-to-face. So often, employers assume that new employees know certain basic information about the job, only to learn shortly after starting that they do not. Human resource professionals must communicate the particulars of a job and organizational expectations before an applicant begins work. Consider creating a selection checklist to assure all of that information is covered in your conversations. Assuming all goes smoothly during the final meeting, you've exchanged a verbal agreement concerning the terms of employment, it's time to extend an official offer in writing. A job offer letter could be viewed as a legally binding employment contract. Ensure that the contents absolutely and accurately reflect what you and the applicant have agreed to during that final meeting. The HR representative should send 2 copies of the letter to the prospective employee, one for him to sign and return to the employer, the other to keep. The contents of the letter should be concise and clear, leaving no room for misunderstanding. Much of what's discussed during the final meeting should be included, such as job title, exemption status, department, primary duties, start date, schedule, location, salary, employment at will relationship, conditions of employment, union status if relevant, benefits highlight, and other topics to the terms and conditions of employment. Once a formal offer has been accepted, it's time to notify other applicants. Except for those individuals you absolutely knew who would not be considered as soon as their interviews ended, it's best to wait to send out letters of rejection until you have a firm commitment from the person you want to hire. Rejection letters should refer to the specific position in which the individual applied. In other words, don't reject the person overall. You may want to consider them for another position in the future. The tone of your rejection letter should be professional and sincere. Avoid including detailed information about the successful candidate. Doing so without permission of the new hire could be considered an invasion of privacy. In addition, a rejected applicant could use your disclosures as a basis for a discrimination claim. Rejection letters should be brief, beginning and ending with a positive tone.